swimming pool. I do have a problem, but, and I know it's been a long time, I have a problem with alcohol up there, that's just me.
Well, we gotta have a rule.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be hard to say no alcohol in their campers instead of
Right.
sitting around a campfire.
I mean, that's one of those things I don't even think we need to even know about unless it causes a problem. If it causes a problem, then we'll know about it. I'm not gonna go up there and search
I'm not
for
really,
fridge or anything like that, see if they got alcohol.
You're gonna only restrict it to their campsites, just no open containers in the park or
Yeah.
on golf
Yes.
carts or something?
Yeah.
I mean, you could-
Yeah,
that-
Yeah, I think that's how you're gonna, get it.
No, we don't have to,
we don't want.
only in your campsite.
I did, Malia, I printed off what you sent, and I knew it was quick after the meeting the other night just to get us something, but it was just a Google search for small
Right.
town ordinances and stuff, nothing in particular, because I hadn't even opened it yet, but had sent it on to Strong. So I realized what that was, but just so you guys know, I have talked, to Modest at Law, talked to Strong, he's been looking at this stuff for us. And like I told you guys at last Thursday night's meeting, I've also talked to the AIM legal counsel, that's Becca McQuaid, she's good with municipality law. Both the recommendations were that we needed to get some ordinances in place for the parks. So we need something kind of set, just a foundation. We don't have something that says for our park ordinance that I've been able to find anyways. So, Strong was not able to get something general for that put together yet. He said he would get that to us so that you guys can look at that. But what he did just send over, and I'll just go ahead and read his email here so you guys know some of what he's asking. He sent us 2 sample ordinances, but it says, hey Brittany, here's the ordinance establishing a relationship with Camp Spot and establishing the Parks Committee. Something we could add to Camp Spot ordinance is the allocation of funds to pay Camp Spot. Please let me know what the board thinks. If anything changes need to be made and if anything else needs to be prepared. Something else I would like to do is get more specifics for the number of camping spots we have, how many we can insure, and how many people we want camping at any given time, and publish an ordinance that regulates camping conduct. So what he has attached here is one that kind of outlines a park committee and one that outlines for Camp Spot. He did say he would like you guys to kind of answer some of what he's asked here to help us come up with a general park ordinance, and he'll work some of this camping in the verbiage for our park also.
Yeah, I think when we talked earlier, we had said, just the one tent, like if they wanted to have a tent, we had talked about just one additional tent to their camper. And we had said 6 people, but I think we need to have some type of clause in there that, you can request or something, because what if you have a family that has 5 kids and mom and dad's coming? You know, there are families of 6, and they're gonna put 2 in the tent or whatever, then we need to be able to make, I don't want it to just say 6, and you got this extra tent out there, you're gonna put 2 kids in, you know, if they're bringing a friend or whatever. So I think we have to have some verbiage that, allows us to address the park committee or the town board for approval or whatever, to have an additional guest. And, you know, is there a charge for that, or are we just granting that? You know, there's gotta be something to cover that, so that we have it in writing that it's okay, instead of just saying, yeah, that's okay, go ahead and bring that one kid, and then we tell somebody else they can't the next time, you know. I think that's something we'll have to look at too.
So 1 RV and 1 tent, and then
Yeah.
also 2 tents, is that something too? No?
No,
2 tents, 1 RV and 1 tent, and 2 tents? What do
No,
you
I'm
mean?
just saying like, if you're saying there can be 2 things basically on the spot.
Yes,
So that
yes.
means 1 RV and 1 tent, or
Or
2
2
tents,
tents,
and
yes,
6
yes.
people.
Right.
Right.
right. Yeah,
But you don't wanna
because that's
cram a
6,
bunch
when I
of
go
tents in
camping,
there and
guys,
be loud.
I got more than 6. Sometimes I got 8.
Yeah, because you're gonna bring a friend, or each kid's gonna bring somebody, you know, so you gotta
I
kind of
don't
have
think you're
some.
gonna be able to limit it to 6 people at a campsite.
but you don't want it overrun with.
Well, you don't want 12 or 15 people
Right.
staying there, but
And we gotta have a list of that too, because if something happened in an emergency, they'll want our records from Camp Spot that says who was camping there and how many they got checked in.
And I think we had that earlier, we had kind of that put together, but I don't know.
That's something
whatever
that they'll ask,
happened with.
the Camp Spot kind of puts some of that in
Right.
for that.
Yeah.
And they have it set up for our RV usage and the wattage and all that, and it did say an RV and a 10 or 2 tents,
So
so.
where they click all that, but
Yeah.
they're, okay, yeah.
What about vehicles on the lot?
Well, listen,
I
that,
think
this
they
thing,
get one
have you
and
seen
then-
this? You got
Well,
one
I'm
of these?
trying to read what the lawyer
Here,
sent us
read
first,
that.
make sure we're doing his.
Yeah, I think we talked
I
about,
got that.
All-
She gave
all-
me-
I think we talked about the vehicle being at the campsite, and then if you brought an additional truck or whatever, it had to be parked like in another spot where we have parking available.
So one vehicle per site, other in.
Designated.
So
I
I would
think
cut
designated area could be right there, and as soon as you pull in,
By the
to the
playground.
south side, pull in right in there, if you got additional vehicles. So we can make that a designated area.
Was this right, these 14 consecutive nights? I thought Grace said 10.
No, we had said,
7, wasn't it?
no, we said 2 weeks, and then they had to leave,
Leave.
so I guess.
I was thinking you guys said 10
14
days at one
days.
point.
but could they re-up after 14 days? and stay
Usually
another
you
few?
have to leave
They'd
and
have
come
to
back.
leave and then come
I
back.
thought we had said 14 days, 2 weeks.
On Camp Spot, you have to listen to all the people that stay.
No, he means that
I
would
think
be
there's-
48
Oh,
hours.
yeah.
Well, I thought that everybody's gonna be in camping there.
I think all these, campground quiet hours, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
And I think,
Generators may
And
not,
those are all
general,
state park
rules.
and it says in general, temporary campsites conform to some of the state rules, but not necessarily all of them. But they do have to have the approval of the local council park.
I mean, I think all these kind of things are pretty good.
And, yeah, they're.
well, and we talked about the firewood and collecting and not cutting on the premises and stuff.
Yeah.
I think where it says firewood is available for purchase, we may not want to put that in there until that might be something we add later, but that they could bring their own.
If you guys are wanting to look at this as kind of our template, can we just start line item by line item and
Yeah.
add and amend what you're thinking, so I have something to get to the attorney? So the first line, camping is only allowed in designated campgrounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Maximum stay is 14 consecutive nights.
Right.
At least one person at the campsite must be 18 years old and remain for the entry of the stay. So you're gonna let somebody check in that's 18? There's no like 21 rule or anything like that?
I mean, they're adults legally everywhere else.
Or current, that are 18.
Exactly.
Okay, just making sure. So that's your rule, 18.
Yeah.
Maximum 6 people per campsite, 2 tents, or 1 camper and 1 small tent allowed. And then you want to add to contact
I
if
think they take
it's
the
a
two cents out
family.
though, I don't know.
So you need to,
Yeah, okay.
Well,
you might have some teenagers that might wanna stay in a,
but
by
what she,
themselves and kids.
what she is talking about is 2 tents is 1 camp.
Yeah,
Or a camp, or
Well,
a
camper.
camper and.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're right.
sometimes we don't take an RV, but we take 2 tents to go camp,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm asking.
Right, right.
Vehicles are limited per site, extra vehicles, so this does not say
One
1,
per
so it
site.
needs to say add 1 per site.
Yeah.
Yes, one per site.
Additional parking.
That's fine.
Campground quiet hours are 11 PM to 7 AM.
Is,
Generators may only be operated from 7 AM to 11 PM. Campgrounds close at 11 PM, no setup after midnight. So altogether, the park is now closed at that time.
well, you can't close it.
I'll
Well, it
just
says
say,
the campgrounds, so
just the
that's the
Take
whole
out the
thing.
campground, put campsites.
You can't close the park because of Mary Carolyn and stuff like that. And how you gonna do it?
We don't have
Close the
anybody to
gate?
monitor it.
Well, I mean, we've had stuff that says parks closed from dusk to dawn,
But
at
we
least
shut
put in
down.
something that tries to
Well,
limit.
yeah, we
Through
can put
traffic.
those, I don't know where those signs.
They're in the
are.
maintenance
Put them
garage.
back there.
They're in the maintenance
Take
garage,
them
they got
down.
them down, but they're in there.
We
Why
talked,
they take them down?
because we talked about it in a meeting about taking them down.
Yeah, we did, I did take them on.
Because we have nobody to patrol it and to enforce it.
No, but it's
Oh,
still.
yeah, just let people run wild.
it would
Well, if
still-
I come home at midnight, I usually drive through the park.
I do too.
Yeah.
I drive past my store, I drive through the park and take a look to make sure that there's
I
nothing
think it
going
might
on.
be a good safe protocol for you guys to at least have that, so if there's an issue that you've said, you know, if there's some suspicious activity or something that's going on, you guys could at least say, this is what we've stated. I don't think anybody's gonna call if somebody just drove through at midnight, you
I think
know?
that's a good idea.
But if
It
something
goes along
happens
with
the other
that.
way, that might help us to have something implemented that we've said that at least.
Fine.
And it
Yeah, like
covers
that's
you.
up to the board, but-
I mean, yeah, that's up to you guys, but that's,
I-
do you
I
want that
think
generally stated or
I think
not?
they ought to go back up, or it ought to be stated in there that campground closed.
The campground is closed, but not the park itself.
Well, you guys are gonna have to do something with that, because the public restrooms sit right in the middle of the park, so we don't have anything that's been set to outline, this is the park and this is the campgrounds. So if you guys wanna make a distinction between the two, something's gonna have to get set that says, these are our campgrounds and this is our park. But the restrooms are right in the middle of the park, that is the access for the campers, so
So then
how
don't
do
put
we
it
do
in
that?
there. I mean, why make it difficult? You
I
could,
agree.
you could put in there, not that the park closes, or the campground closes at 11, you could just say no setup after 11 PM.
We've done that, right?
That's right.
No
Right.
No
setup.
setup after 11 PM even. That gives until midnight to
Set
get
up
done.
after 11.
Yeah, right.
So you want no setup after 11?
Yeah. Get rid of that campground closed to the 11 p.m.
Do you want something that says, like dusk to dawn on the park, that the park is closed from dusk to dawn?
No.
It could be up there and it would cover your butts.
I mean, people,
It doesn't matter who goes through there. I mean, there's still, same people are still gonna go through there like Billy did.
they're gonna be police playing around up there.
You guys
somewhere.
would be covered.
If I was a camper, I would want to know that I'm in a place, a public space, most of those you can't get through the garbage trap unless you're somebody staying there,
Right.
you know? We don't have that. So at least we have something that says, we really don't want extra visitors. They got their kids, they gotta send to the restroom in the middle of the night, there's something saying, hey, you really don't want extra people up here right now. You have something like you got the incident, somebody driving through the park in the middle of the night, that we have it said that you shouldn't even have been here to start with. That's my thought.
I think that sign better go back up.
Put the signs back up and then
Yeah.
put that with,
And I think that'd be,
no setup after 11 p.m.
So
No
park
camping.
dusk to dawn and no setup after 11 PM.
Yeah, gosh, we sure don't want people calling just because somebody drives through, parks up there and sits on the wall.
And they're gonna do that.
Yeah, you might have, I learned for somebody call.
So I ride
That's
a
all I'm serious.
bicycle around every night. 3 o'clock.
What's
Si, he rides his bicycle all night through town.
Yeah, right, holler heck.
Okay,
Yeah, bike ride.
Our next point, firewood collection or cutting trees is not permitted. Firewood is available for purchase. We don't have that.
Yeah, get rid of that firewood available purchase.
Do you guys have limitations on the wood that's coming in, like the state parks do, that it has to be bark removed, so we don't have issues with it?
No,
or anything?
we're not gonna monitor that.
they'll do it, but, you know, I
So I don't know if you
prefer,
need it said.
Well, sometimes they do monitor that. That's-
yeah, I prefer that they don't have bark on it.
And you can't bring it in.
Yeah, I prefer they
They
don't.
make you take the bark off your wood?
Yeah,
Why is
Not
that?
season.
So the
Bugs,
beetles and the bugs and that.
that ash beetle.
Oh,
It spreads. Do you want that on there then or not?
I think so.
Other council members, do you want it to say that the firewood needs the bark removed? Or find out
If
what
they
the
bring
state
it,
park
if they
says?
They bring their own.
But if we
No,
end
I'm
up,
not gonna say that, because we're not gonna monitor that. They can burn that stuff.
Barb, what do you say?
I said put it in there, and then if somebody's there to look at it, then they can look at it, if not, we'll just trust them that they do it. Most people are gonna go by the rules anyway,
They will.
so I think. we're
Okay,
better
go
off
ahead, that'll
putting
be
it in
fine
there.
for me. That's fine for me.
You said something, Bob, about getting it. There is some things through Camp Spot that we can do additional things, so if we get something set up, where there's a place in the park to sell firewood, they can scan a QR code and check out their camp spot just with that, just the same, and buy it from us. If we have that done somewhere down the line and make some more money on that stuff too, and supply them what they need. Next line, pets must be on a leash no longer than 6 feet and attended at all times. Pet fencing is not allowed.
That needs to be in there.
I think that's fine for me.
Do you want anything about like unattended pets? Because I know we weren't supposed to have campers, but like one time when we did, they like left animals up there. So do you
Just
want that
running
to
loose?
stay, like there's no, like your pet
Don't
not
dump
being
your dog
unattended?
off and leave me.
I mean, I know it says on a leash, but it just unattended. That way, if we call and say, we already said, you know, he's gotta be on leash and not attended,
Yeah.
we have to call about something.
Pets need to be attended at all times.
Okay, so this next line says alcohol is prohibited at Indiana Dunes State Park, youth camps, and all beaches. You guys said you would like that amended to say that alcohol is restricted to the campsites. And something else more that says no other places in the park.
Yep.
So the people in town have no say so on that, they
I might say a
do.
little.
I really don't appreciate having people having alcohol, I got to stop on that. You know? I just don't appreciate it.
It's legal, I mean,
Well, it's
21.
legal, it's legal in Humane.
But people have alcohol, and I know it's not supposed to be in the park at all,
It's not
I don't
supposed to be in
think,
the park at all.
but they go up there and drink, so.
People go for a drink anyway.
No, it's not supposed to.
I know a lot.
But we
They
don't
do
have a
anyway.
marshal to,
I understand, you guys are giving.
We got a town president.
Down.
but do you wanna sit up there all night and monitor the park? No?
Okay, listen. We heard that, we got a break.
I understand
You'd be
this.
better off just not to offer.
Okay, what else?
If
Just
it
so you guys
happens,
know,
it
that's
happens.
4:35 and we have a 5 o'clock executive
Okay.
session. Swimming is only allowed in designated areas, that doesn't pertain to us.
Right.
Health and safety, campgrounds must have potable water and proper sewage disposal.
I don't think they have that proper
You
solution.
know,
We don't have to have the dump station since we have less than 10,
Right.
but that's part, I don't have her email here. Part of what the health department from the state said, there is something that is state pertinent to us about that water and gray water. There can be no dumping of any sort up there.
Right.
They can't dump it.
No,
They can't dump it.
like, nothing, not even
that
safe
needs
water.
to be in
So
there.
we need to have something about wastewater that matches what the State Department of Health told us
Yeah.
that we have to have.
Yes, I agree.
No dumping,
No
no.
running out on the merry
No
over there,
waste, yeah.
sink water.
It might be good to reach out to somebody that does pumping or something, or at least give them a local place that they can do that. If they're staying here for 14 days, they're gonna need a place to dispose of that. You know, I know you can go to the state forest or whatever, but I don't know, you know, if they could take it to Sullivan Park and Lake, and
Right.
let other
Yeah,
people
get it
come
done.
in,
They can dump
or
it.
people come dump. Nick might have a question for you guys.
Is there a way to get an official letter from the state that says that it's okay to not have a dumping station?
We've
already done that.
In writing.
It's already done that.
Is it in writing? Do we have a
Yeah,
copy?
it says our campground is less than 10.
It's,
So
you
we do
can
not
find it,
have-
yeah.
Well, I got on the web that says, however, even for campsites with less than 10 sites, the general rules regarding health and safety, such as those found in, if you look up the website, must be observed.
Brittany and I
So
met
the
with
internet says
somebody,
one thing, and you guys are saying another. All I'm asking is, get a letter from the state that says it's okay.
We did,
We don't have-
actually, Mike, Barb and I last summer, we met with a gal that does, mostly campgrounds all over the state from the Department of Health.
Right.
She came out and inspected everything we had, and she basically said since we were less than 10, we only have 7, that we are not required to have a dump station. She did send a follow-up report from that. We needed frost-free, fittings for all the hydrants up there. What they asked us to do to be in compliance with the state, that did get done.
So it is in writing.
That came from the State Department of Health, yes.
Because when you invite a bunch of people here, you open yourself up for a lawsuit. You know, that's another thing. I'm sorry to get off task, but do we have insurance for people, those, smoke rings that are just quarter-inch metal in a circle? If some little kid or adult falls and hits on that, there's gonna be physical damage.
Just so you know, I've talked to the insurance twice, once last year when we were starting to do more with this. Again, after I talked to the attorneys this week and they told me to reach out to our insurance company at Springer again, Megan Hamilton said she looked it up for us and checked with our underwriter. And because we are only 7 sites, our liability insurance covers the camping at Marin Bluff Park. If anything more gets added to that they need to know, they need to know that. There might be some other regulations with it, but at this time, with only the 7 sites, we're covered with our liability insurance.
Okay, Brittany, go ahead, garbage.
Sanitary facilities, toilet showers must be clean and in good repair.
We don't have
We don't have showers.
Garbage must be disposed of properly, dumpsters must be covered. So you guys had brought the trash up before, we need to put something in here that says they need to use the public dumpster provided at the bluff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, something to the fact that upon your departure, all trash needs to be
And that,
located at the, you know,
In the-
taken to the
in the
dumpster,
town
so however
dumpster.
the wording is right, but
Your campsite needs to be cleaned up.
cleaned up, trash,
Community
Needs
dumpsters
to
shall be
be-
at least 25 feet from any campsite.
What's that?
It says here, community dumpsters shall be at least 25 feet from any campsite.
So
Yeah.
It is.
we don't have, we've talked about putting in private ones. I met with McKinney Disposal last year that does our trash services. They came out. It's not really feasible for us right now, not knowing how this is gonna go to get sites each their dumpster. They can take it all to the dumpster that's located over there by the pavilion and cook shack. If we need to use more waste than what is able to fit in that, I did meet with them and talk to the board, we've had that in public meeting. There's kind of space right off to the right over there, closer to the Chautauqua House, where we could put in another gravel pad and have a dumpster that's still, it'd be 25 feet from their space, but give additional waste disposal place for the campers.
What about if not letting people burn their trash in those fire rings, like their plastic and whatever else they might burn? Instead of going in a dumpster.
That's a good point.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
That's
It should say,
Only wood,
it should say
And
wood
cardboard.
and paper,
wood products.
yeah.
no trash burning in here,
no
we're
trash
burning
burned in there.
Bark removed, only firewood permitted.
Firewood and paper.
Yeah, because you burn cardboard.
Plastic smells terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want that, that's good.
Okay.
It'll be poisoned by emergency styrofoam, because I spent 3 days in the hospital with it one
Did you
time.
really?
This says- I mean, most of this is like for our side, so the emergency telephone service must be available. We've talked about this a few times. Who's gonna be the phone number that these people call?
I think I called 911.
Yeah.
For an emergency, like medical or something maybe like that. I mean,
911.
okay, but then after that, if it's something that's just within the park, that's a local issue, who's the point of contact in town if these people call?
What kind of issue would it
I mean, the discrepancies with their camp spot, trouble with the neighbor, I mean, anything they might have issue hooking up to, something's wrong in the
She's not talking
bathroom.
about us,
Oh.
Bob.
Who, I mean, I'm just asking.
I mean, I don't
Put my
mind being
phone
a
number on.
person, if you
I'm
want
not
somebody
down
on the
on
park
either
committee.
one.
be? You could put two numbers in there.
So I'm gonna put Doug Pates as president of the board, and I'm gonna put Malia Sullivan
Right.
as head of the park committee.
Yeah.
If you can't go.
Yeah.
Do not damage or remove natural features, plants, animals, or rock, bicycles, or, I'm sorry, do you want anything more with that? Bicycles are only allowed on roadways, not hiking trails.
We did talk about, let's go back to the first one, do not damage or remove natural features. We did talk about not, putting anything into the trees and stuff. Remember that, like screwing
Sign,
Yes,
anything in
sir,
it,
sign.
like to hang and all, that we didn't want that done, or
Yeah, you could tie.
wires around.
Tie it. No
Tie
nails.
around the tree,
Yeah.
but no nails.
No nails, screws and trees.
So ropes may be used for tying of lines, but like nothing,
No hooks or
Screws
screws.
into the
and
tree.
nails in the tree.
And the bicycles, Well, you got those hiking, that new hiking trail down there, that'd be a great place to ride your bike.
I think you'd be in big trouble. If you guys, the one I brought up Thursday night, if you go down to the bottom of the bluff and you turn right, and one of those that's right back up on the bluff, if you, that little curve, that whole backside of that is all washed out. And if anybody was on that on a bicycle, I mean, it's rutted out this deep. Those are not passable.
From the rain.
Mhm. There's nothing to do to stop that rock from just washing down the hill, and it's right up on the bluff, so if any kid or anything, I mean, it's not even really safe to walk on. It's pretty washed out back there.
Huh, I've not seen
I think you leave it bicycles are on, bicycles allowed on roadways, if they want to go down and ride a little bit, they're gonna do it, you know.
that.
Yeah, because if you start seeing trails and they get on that corridor spot and mess with that ramp or anything, that's not coming down, that's gonna open us up for a lot of stuff that way too.
What about ATVs, UTVs, all of that?
ATVs are not supposed to be on that, are
No, not on those
they?
trails.
And it's signed down
Yeah,
there.
we got signs.
But I mean, what about cars?
Park.
Well, I think those are vehicles, and that's where they gotta have, park them in a designated area.
Razors and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, those are licensed to get on the highway. I mean, it's
So
a
do you
vehicle.
want a
Vehicles,
clause
you
that
want me to add
says
that in there for off-road
ATVs
vehicles?
and stuff need to stay on roadways, not in the park
Yeah,
lawns?
yeah.
Somehow that they're not on the park lawn.
Could they be parked in front of the camper?
Yeah,
That they need to stay on roadways.
yeah.
Off-road.
Just no riding in, on park lawns and park grounds or whatever. Lawns, I guess.
Special events require, we do that anyways. So based on the amendments that you guys have here, can the board vote what we just did? I noted and added and deleted all that. Can you approve this?
Yep.
And I'll send this to Sean to ask him to draft this in an ordinance for our park and camping.
I'll make a motion, we use this, what do we call it, guidelines, to send to the lawyer to create ordinances for our campground.
Second, Barb?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Three oh.
Thanks, guys.
Is there anything, I mean, this, I should have asked this when you guys just voted, is there anything that you'd like to amend and add to this, and other things that maybe weren't discussed in any of this? That you can think of any further?
I don't know, I think,
Was there a noise thing?
I don't have anything for noise.
I
Quiet
thought,
hours.
I thought that was quiet.
now we got quiet hours.
And we have a noise ordinance.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay,
It says campground quiet hours are 11 PM to 7 AM, that's, I mean, that's.
yeah.
Covers that.
So, back to what,
Please be respectful of your other campers though in those evening hours. I think we need to just kind of keep an eye on that as the park committee.
okay. Back to what the lawyer sent, so here's this ordinance establishing the relationship with Camp Spot and establishing the Parks Committee. Something we could add to Camp Spot ordinance is the allocation of funds to pay Camp Spot. Please let me know what the board thinks, if any changes need to be made, and if anything else needs prepared. Something else I would like to do is get specifics for number of camping spots we have, how many we can insure, and how many people we want camping at any given time, and publish an ordinance that regulates camping conduct. So I
We've
think
done that, right?
that's kind of all that gets
Yeah.
him his 7 sites that we know we need, that we put all in there. The people, you guys had said 6. Is there a maximum amount of campers that are allowed up there for all 7 sites?
14.
Well, you mean numbers of people?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So we got
Seven
6
times
per
6.
campsite, that's 42 people.
Yeah.
But I don't think you wanna put a maximum, because if they approach and ask for the okay to bring, I mean, we've gotta have some type of leeway there.
I mean, I think you could wiggle in more people, but one thing that would be concerning is somebody has it as a meeting spot and you've got a full block of people on one campsite up there having a party, that would be a mess.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I mean, there is public space up there in the park if they're just in the park or in the park, but I think it should say, like, maybe the amount won't exceed so many per campsite at any given time. That would eliminate putting 20 people on a pad or something, if you guys, something like that.
But
15,
they wouldn't be staying, it'd just be that they
this
were
week at
there.
that
We're
time.
gonna do that for the one go under small shelters and have a
But
party.
would that be
and go.
considered a special event too?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
No,
I mean,
we
I
just
got a
maybe
big
camping
family.
up there and say, we want a birthday party, we want a cake for grandma, and get people coming over for 2 hours, or just hanging
No.
out.
Who's
Not
gonna
even
use that
there.
shelter up there in the corner?
Yeah.
Which campsite gets that?
That's
It's
number
it's
7.
availability, it's just,
But I mean, it's right there by somebody that's camping, they'll probably think it's for them.
Well,
but we're
it
gonna
could be.
try to get picnic tables eventually for each campsite too, we talked about, so.
I think.
We got it in
rules,
shelter.
but you might, I mean, my thought would be to put one that all campers, please be respectful of park and park property and
Yeah.
your neighboring campers.
Right.
Yes.
You know, something to that effect.
That would be-
No, I don't even wanna mess with that number. I don't wanna mess with how many people.
I mean, if
But
if
our
I
lawyer's
can't solve it
asking
one
it,
time.
there's a reason he's
Yeah.
asking, so I
What's
think
he saying,
that
Anderson?
he wants to know, and how many people we want camping at any given time, like,
Camping
Camping.
is
Camping.
different than hanging
Could
out.
be
But you, I mean,
7
you've got,
times 6.
Or
Yeah,
it's
but
got
you might have
that.
some people, like some 2 or 3 people show up in the morning and then, or you might have a whole bunch of people show up for breakfast and for staying up there.
I think camping means overnight.
Yeah, I
and
think
that's our
camping
six.
means overnight.
So it would
But
be
I-
six. It'd be
I think we
six.
have that covered unless he questions.
so you don't wanna set a number to how many people are allowed for the neighborhoods.
I don't really want to because.
Well, it's campsite,
they
shouldn't have
like
like
two
6,
days.
so if we had them all 4, it'd be 42.
More than 6, but
But-
you also left the possibility of saying, coming back to
Yeah.
someone, whoever, Malia, or
Has to
Doug,
be
and
really
say,
good, so
hey,
you bring an extra.
we're gonna have 3 grandkids here this weekend,
Yeah.
we'd like to bring them, and that means we have 9 at our campsite, is that okay? And I wouldn't see anything wrong with that.
But I don't think we'll have all 7 full at the same time anyway, so. But I think we should say 6, that's just, it's my thought.
Okay, so then, looking at these ordinances he sent us, an ordinance establishing a parks committee for the town of Marron, did you guys read through this?
Yeah, I did. And-
We've done that, haven't we?
No, we've
No,
never
we
established a
haven't.
park
We
committee.
never have done it.
We have, it
We
doesn't
haven't.
say, we've had a park committee, but we don't have an ordinance that says the
Oh.
park committee consists of da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Or what would be.
Let me just run through this real quick. Okay, an ordinance establishing a parks committee for the town of Marron, Indiana. Be it ordained by the town board of the town of Marron, Indiana as follows. Section 1, establishment of parks committee. There is hereby created a parks committee for the town of Marron, Indiana committee. The committee shall consist of 3 members who shall be appointed by the town board. The initial members shall be, I've got fill in the blank, so I've got Malia Sullivan, I've got Randy Moon, John, am I supposed to put Jackie on here?
Yeah,
Bob
she gave
Tom-
up her
Tom.
spot,
That's
and
her
Randy
spot.
took it.
Yeah, Randy took
Is there
it.
No.
anything,
Wasn't it?
Corey's wife gave up her spot
Yeah.
and Randy took that.
There's never been anything in writing from Jack.
No, I've not had anything from Jackie. Jenny brought something to you guys and resigned her position, but I have nothing. You guys have been to Jackie.
Jackie doesn't want to mess with it. I can tell you that.
now, is there any regulations about a person having to live in town to be on the park?
No, there's no board, so it's a lot less formality
Yeah,
here.
Okay.
I don't mind to be on there either. I told you guys that before and help with the park. So, or Bob, if you were getting ready to say, we should have a 3rd person. So you guys need to vote a 3rd person in for our committee.
Make a motion, we put Bob Tommy in on our park committee.
Mark,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. So Bob,
Randy
Randy,
and Malia.
1 member shall be designated as the director of the Parks Committee by the town board. The committee shall serve as the pleasure of the Marron Town Board. So Malia, that's you, the director of the Parks Committee? I'm just asking, is that what
I will,
you want?
yeah.
Okay, so can you
I'll
guys
make a
vote for it?
motion, have Malia as the director of the park board,
Second.
Park committee,
park committee.
Committee. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Section 2, purpose and duties. The purpose of committee is to advise and make recommendations to the board concerning the planning, maintenance, development, and use of town parks. The committee may conduct studies, gather public input, and provide reports to the board. Section 3, limitation of authority. The committee shall have no independent authority to act on behalf of the town. No action of the committee shall be binding upon the town unless expressly approved by the board. The committee shall not have the authority to enter into contracts, obligate the town in any manner, or take official action without prior approval of the board. Use of, use of funds. The committee shall not expend or commit any town funds except those specifically allocated by the board, discretionary, used by the committee. All expenditures shall consist with the board's allocation and subject to oversight by the board. Section 5, membership and services. Members of the committee shall be appointed by the board and shall serve as the pleasure of the board. The board may remove any member at any time, with or without cause. The committee shall elect from among its members such officers as it deems necessary, subject to board approval, provided that the director shall always be the member designated by the town board. Section 6, meetings. The committee shall meet at such times as determined by its director, subject to the board's discretion. All meetings shall be conducted in compliance with the Indiana Open Door Law. The committee shall keep minutes of its meetings and submit them to the board. Section 7, campground rentals. The committee shall not handle or be responsible for the rental of camping spots within the town parks or campground. The town shall exclusively use campspot.com to facilitate the rental of all camp spots, and such rentals shall be managed by the town directly. Section 8, servability. If any provision of this ordinance is held to be invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions which shall remain in full force and effect. Section 9, effective date. This ordinance shall be in full force and effective from and after its passage, approval, and publication as required by law, passed and adopted by the town board of Merrim, this day, town board, and I have to attest. So you guys want to vote this as an ordinance? Is there anything you want to add or take away? That is the ordinance that established our Parks Committee.
I'll make the motion to approve the ordinance as it's stated. It covers absolutely everything.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
So. Since we did this today, Doug, let's just go ahead and sign this. The first one is yours, yeah. I'm gonna make this ordinance 8/20/25A. Okay. I'm sorry.
That $100 thing you're saying you have to pay every month for the campsites, what's that?
Last year, we brought it before the board when we were looking at different ways to do camping and the best way to manage it, run it, money-wise, all things. So it's been voted in over the past year that we would use CampSpot. They're an online hosting agent that is basically like the VRBO or Airbnb for camping. They service people all over the country. A lot of people in the state of Indiana, different campgrounds use them. So basically, there's a website that you would go to, that's campspot.com, and people make online reservations through that, just like you would book to stay at a hotel or Airbnb.
So how long have you
just for
been
camping.
paying that?
We've been paying it since last year. We started, it took a lot of time to get it established. I've done a lot of Zooms with them. We've ran through some of this through meetings. At that time, we were hoping to get camping last summer. That's part of our audit period. We've had issues with employment, and having a superintendent and other people that came and helped with some of that. So this has kind of gotten delayed and keeps getting put on the back burner. So yes, for them to have our web hosting fee, it's $100 a month. Once we start doing booking fees, they do charge us 10%. And it's something like, it's got a public side. You go into CampSpot, you see our camping facilities, you can see pictures of each of our lots, different things at the park, all the rules, regulations, and everything is there. You book your stay. They've got all the information there. Our rules will be put in there. Anything more out of this can be put in there. And there's a back office side that gets managed too, that has different restrictions depending who's doing it. So, like on my side, I see the finances and everything else. The council has it at another level. Malia and Bob, the park committee, can look at it in case they need to assist somebody in getting reservations up there. We have a cleaning attendant, and they can look in there and see who's been booked at certain times. So it's pretty complex about everything that it does.
Takes a lot off of us.
It
So
takes,
it's the cleaning person.
well, right now Mackenzie's our part-time
Oh, she
cleaning
does.
person, yes. So we have that established, well, we need to renew that and discuss that in a minute. I'll try to run through this next ordinance quickly. So an ordinance establishing exclusive use of campspot.com for camping reservations in the town of Merrimack. Be it ordained by the town board of the town of Merrimack, Indiana as follows. Section 1, purpose. The purpose of this ordinance is to establish a uniform and consistent system for the reservation and payment of camping spots within the town of Merrimack by requiring all reservations to be processed exclusively through campspot.com. Section 2, exclusive reservation system. The town of Merrimack shall exclusively use campspot.com to facilitate the reservation of all camping spots located within the town. No other reservation system shall be used for official camping spot reservations. Section 3, prohibition of cash reservations. Effective upon adoption of this ordinance, camping spots within the town of Merrimack shall no longer be reserved by cash payment. All payments and reservations must be made through campspot.com in accordance with the procedures established by that service. Section 4, enforcement and administration. The town board or its designated representative shall ensure that all reservations are processed through campspot.com and shall monitor compliance with the ordinance number. Town officer, employee, or committee shall accept cash or any alternative form of reservation for camping spots. Section 5, servability. If any provisions of this ordinance is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions, which shall remain in full force and effect. Section 6, effective date. The ordinance shall be in full force and effect from this and after its passage, approval, and publication as required of law. And then there's a place for you guys, again, he's got all 3 town council members on this one for me to attest.
Could you read 4 again?
Sure. The town, it says section 4, enforcement and administration. The town board or its designated representatives shall ensure that all reservations are processed through campspot.com and shall monitor compliance with this ordinance. No town officer, employee, or committee shall accept cash or any alternative form of reservation for camping spots.
Yeah.
Use debit or credit card, just like you do
Online.
online. Yes.
What's the reason for this exclusivity?
It's the reason for,
This exclusivity? Taking no cash payments, no check, only using CampSpot. What's the particular reason for that?
I go up there and take $50 from someone who's gonna say, I'm not gonna stick that in my pocket and go on.
Well, it's more about not being
also not campspot.
Nobody.
bonded to carry, town
Right.
money.
Bonded.
Oh, I see.
So I'm the clerk treasurer, and that's what I'm not the campground host, but
Right.
I can help manage all this on an online format, a lot simpler than, we don't have anybody to check everybody in and out and run payments and do all that.
That makes sense.
So in this format, it puts that responsibility on the people that are coming to camp to do that, and then it puts all that in, in the system so we can run our reports and do everything we need to do with State Board of Accounts.
Once they use a credit card, debit card, and they pay, that money goes right into our bank account.
It's easier to
We don't
pull the
even
tax,
mess
the
with it.
innkeeper's tax and all that off of it.
And we have to adjust for that.
And then, so after that, CampSpot takes a 10% cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Just
guess-
like Airbnb does.
Yeah. It's a lot of money, but it's the way it is. That's business today.
Thank
How are
you.
you gonna make sure nobody's camping up there that didn't actually get on that website?
We'll know,
We
but
can check.
we'll check in with them.
We'll
The
check.
camp committee will greet and check in with people. We're not just gonna let them.
Oh, you're
walk
gonna
in.
look to see who says
Yeah.
their comment?
We'll see who's coming in, and then when they leave, we gotta make sure they leave by the date, the time they're supposed to leave, and then we're gonna make sure that their campsite's left clean, because if not, then we're gonna have to reach out to them.
Will they
Yeah.
have to have a little thing saying where they went on the website?
They'll have a receipt.
We'll get a notification that they checked in,
Okay.
and then we will go and greet them and, do the welcome.
Is that like a registration process?
Yes, yes.
License, yeah, all that,
Well, you're gonna want to, like, they charge you $50,
holding
and
stuff,
then
yeah.
check everything out, and then,
Well, jury in does, I don't know if anybody else does.
That's something that you might think about. Is there a deposit
We
in
haven't
that
done
money?
that, because that makes it a lot more hairy doing the money in and out for all that.
Yeah.
And so like even the cancellation fees, you guys voted that we would have no cancellation, like reimbursement. One thing CampSpot does offer is if there is a cancellation, that customer, basically when they go through there, they have an account through CampSpot. so that reservation can go back on their account and be used as a credit at future times. You guys
Right.
voted for that. So that does that, but it doesn't make money have to go back and forth. Once it comes in, it stays, and it voids at the end of camping season. So they have that home to use it, and at the end of season, it's void.
Good.
When is the end of the season?
So I think we said,
April to October is what we set,
To the first October, to
no,
October?
through
yeah.
October, April 1 through October.
When we have to, take care of the water and everything, when we like close the bathrooms and all that, campsite will close.
Well, that varies.
Can you guys make a motion on this ordinance?
Yes.
This is ordinance 8/20/2025. This is establishing campspot.com for camping reservations.
I'll make a motion to reset ordinance number 82025B.
I'll second that. I don't think.
All in
that-
favor? Aye.
She wrote it, didn't
Okay, I'm gonna pass this down. The next thing here, campspot, so I've been trying to get a hold of them since last Friday after we met last Thursday night to see if they could come on with us tonight. I had some trouble getting a hold of them. I talked to one of their higher up guys, we had a couple people that helped do some of our onboarding. I went through, just to recap, all the things that we needed, that we brought this to meetings, some of this you guys have went ahead and approved. But basically, they put us on hold till we were ready to launch. We do have to finalize a few things with the payments to get those set. We have some of that established, but not the actual connection of our banks yet. When I talked to the guy earlier, there was an issue about some of this because we have not renewed our annual contract. So I have kept on a limited communication with them, checking in. In June, I did let them know, they had emailed me asking where we were, and I said it's still in talks, we're hoping to get camping going this summer, but for right now, we're still on hold. And so that was the last communication before I started trying to reach out with more of this stuff again. So our agreement was through May, and we need to renew our agreement. I do have that, George that's helping us with Camp Spot, that's the high up there, he got us this agreement back to us today, right as the meeting started. It's the same as it was last year, it's only changing the dates. You guys had approved all this before, I don't know if you want to go ahead and do that, and get this agreement done. It's all online to sign, but this is a paper copy of it. We could run it through Monisits and make sure they're good with it. One thing, Julie, that they had said at Monisits, I believe it's called the MOU, it was something like purchasing agreements, sometimes that, different municipalities that, work with third-party vendors, they have that put in place with their lawyers, that kind of is another layer of protection. He said 9 times out of 10, they recommend that we have that. He said one thing that is kind of a catch for small towns, said, when people are coming to Vigo County, they don't mind to work with your lawyers to get, because they want your service, they want to work with Vigo County. Another thing here, if we're asking Camp Spot to sign more documentation with lawyers and stuff, it's gonna cost us more money, it's gonna be another touch with them, it's gonna incur more stuff, and it's not like they're coming and saying, hey, we wanna help you with your 7 sites, so they said sometimes it's not really worth it as a small town to put that in place, but you may want to go ahead and pass this through them to have it reviewed again, or if you guys feel like it's good, you can vote it and I'll get our agreement reinstated.
And that'll just be,
It's an annual for Camp Spot.
yeah,
I say, pay the animal, and that's it.
sign up for the annual.
Yeah. So,
Renew the agreement.
Do you have a
Can you
motion?
make a motion for that?
He just did.
I just did.
Okay.
All second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
One thing that I got asked, do you guys have a tentative date that you're looking to launch?
Just can't, that says we can.
Whenever we can.
What
Well,
has
we
to be
still
done
have to have the
before we
park committee or the park ordinance from Strong, they're still
Right.
working on that.
So
So
when we get that, I say, oh,
but you guys have to have another meeting to then approve that, or if he has anything more. So we really can't call a meeting until we know, this put them on a crunch to get this today. So I don't think we should call a meeting, putting them on a time crunch, let them tell us, he knows we're wanting it as soon as possible, but I didn't know, and you mentioned Paw Paw Festival, so I'm just saying, can you give me a tentative date that you're liking to launch, so I can say we would like to try to do this and have it.
Well, Pawpaw Festival is the 6th of August, so
6,
September.
September, yeah, so that would be
6,
next
7, 8.
weekend we would need to be launching.
And then one more weekend after that?
You have the
Yeah.
29th and 30th, which is, Labor Day weekend, and then the weekend, so you've got,
It's
we're on the 20th.
After Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
the
the
weekend
sixth.
following Monday.
Sixth and seventh, Saturday and Sunday.
Well, then I can ask him,
So
I
that's
just,
actually two.
you guys are wanting to
Yeah.
camp by the sixth, by the fifth, or maybe even
Yes, I would say the
A
5th.
week
of
of the-
September.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm telling as soon as possible, but I'd like to give him a date and let he knows we gotta have a meeting before
So
that.
you're saying we need another meeting to come back and accept what he
That's the
instructs?
ordinance.
Yeah, he still has that ordinance for the park and things, and he was looking at a couple other things, establishing a fund to even take that money. We have set this for Camp Spot, but they have nothing set, and that's what he kind of messaged in his thing, that says we're creating funds to receive money for camping, we have to have all that in place. One thing that he asked me was like, where is all this money, like you guys have set this up with, been appropriated and things, which it's not
Really,
really
they
been
don't actually
mandated.
have a department for it to go in.
No, I mean, we set up, you guys approved to set up a bank with First Financial, that's our campaign fund. There's, the bank is.
What are we gonna use it for?
That should be all this money, but we need to make sure that all that is set and in right manner. And then he asked about all the expenses that have gone out to get this started.
Right.
And that's one thing, the State Board of Accounts, they kind of picked us apart on, because it rolled in with the DNR grant.
Right.
And they basically said last year, because we had a whole mess of everything else, they weren't gonna dig, they looked at some of that, that's how they found that $5,000 for the community, you know, the Wabash.
Foundation.
Yeah, for the electric and different things, and brought some of that out. But State Board of Accounts basically said at the next audit, then the DNR grant should be closed, and then they're coming back and looking through all this again. So he said, we've gotta make sure we're putting some things in better manner than they have been on where money's coming and going with this. And he was gonna work with that too. So he's supposed to be throwing me something that's an ordinance for the park, which I can email that to you guys to look at. He's supposed to be sending me something about the money, so you guys could look at that in an email, and then set a date, 2 days heads up to have a meeting to get that stuff approved.
Hopefully we
That's
get
fine,
done.
so when he gets that done, we'll have we can have a meeting,
Have a meeting.
like the next day.
2 days, we have to publish
2
it,
days.
we'll have to have a
2
special
days.
public meeting again,
Okay,
48 hours.
okay.
Are the park bathrooms up and running? Like fully, are the toilets, sinks?
The,
112 men's,
the men's
Not working.
handicap toilet needs to be taken apart.
it's leaking.
I've been gonna do that.
No, I know, oh, gosh, dang it.
It's a flush out the back, and I wish we had all new stuff in regular stool, regular, but we don't, so.
I've cleaned them out.
I will get that.
I
I think it's the, I don't know whether it's a wax ring or a funnel or what, but I think that's where it's leaked. It only leaks when you flush it. It'll hold water, doesn't leak, but you flush it, and that little trickle comes up.
And the sinks are all good now?
No, one sink in the
We got-
women's is not working,
Women's,
and one sink in the men's is not working, I think.
Those were the ones you got, I ordered the faucets for, you needed to have the faucets, or it's not.
We got stuff in that middle room.
you only have one faucet in the middle room because the other three have been replaced. And I need a washer-like thing that I don't have. It's not a washer because the washer won't fit up there, but the way that those new faucets are made, if you try to tighten them up, it goes right up into the hole that doesn't set in. And I got 3 of them working. 3 of them should be working.
There are 3.
2 in the men's and 1 in the women's is working, but the other one needs to be replaced. And we've got that faucet.
And we've got disposable soap up there right now. We don't have those, I don't think.
We don't have any
It
soap.
needs fixed, because that's something that never got installed. They were in here for Darren, they were in here for Braden, nobody ever
Like
put
the
them.
parents to try to,
They're up there in the,
in the middle room.
yeah, everything that was broke, there's new toilet paper dispensers in
I
there,
know.
there's new paper towel dispensers, there's new soap
You
dispensers.
mean, none of those have been
There's
put
air
in?
No, they're
fresheners
all-
up there, all that needs mounted in there, they're in there. So like, just a general, I mean, I know if you guys are
They're all
having
what
people
day?
in and out, like, are you guys gonna always go check when people are checking out? I mean, what if there's
Yeah.
extra trash and stuff up there, like,
We'll pick it up.
You mean in the camp area?
I just mean, you know, in general, do you guys as the park committee have kind of a plan? What's your plan as people are checking in and out weekly, like with the campground, once it gets open? Like, what does that
Well,
look like?
Just check.
Someone's gonna have to go up there and check.
Yeah.
We'll have that in place for you.
And
We'll-
he's
we're ready.
retired now.
I'm retired. And it's
Well,
not
but
in.
that'd be more than check.
Sometimes you have to do more check,
Well,
but I
you
mean-
may have to, I mean, you could get a camper to leave and they can mow the park, you may have to go up and mow where the camp was. So there may be mowing involved too.
Yeah.
Has anybody checked with like other, like emergency management stuff, like with, Sullivan County or with like the law enforcement to let them know you guys are planning to open the beginning of September in case?
Well,
we-
we tell
I'll see Jimmy this weekend referral.
So Doug, you're gonna talk to
Yeah,
Jimmy?
I'll tell Jimmy.
Who helps with like the ambulance service stuff over there? Is that-
Jimmy would
is that-
handle all
Jimmy would handle all that.
So for medical, you can check with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let the sheriff's department know
I'll
also?
let Bob know. Matter of fact, we just, Jason yesterday.
Are we gonna put any kind of screening, and, I mean, I know we can't really check so much with this being online and not like an at-a-gate thing, but one thing that's been the question, and I would like to know too, like, since it's a public parking with kids, like, anybody coming in that might be sexual predators. I know when I talked to Sullivan Park and Lake, I mean, I know, like I said, we don't have a gatehouse, so we can't be there all the time, but maybe just thinking about putting some safety measures in place. They at least put like the local list of those guys that's published and have pictures of that, so people are aware if they see those people. You know, they said they do kind of have more safety measures in place for that, but they've had crazy things where one time they shoved a guy, brought him in through the trunk of the car and let him out at the playground. That was that, you know.
Did you
trying to-
post that at the, little house, like where we had talked about having pamphlets and stuff before?
We could
Uh,
actually.
Make an information center.
Yeah, the information center, couldn't think of it, and just maybe have a board there.
Can you guys think then, before we have the next meeting, be working on like some signage and things, put the contact information together, that it's gonna be you and Doug? Put the sheriff's department number on there, maybe make a space for
And those
that.
two, when they show up,
Make,
instead of making signs, let's just handle that stuff.
Well, we're not meeting them, they're coming and
No.
checking in whenever.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put it on paper and put it up there so they can
Yeah.
just pick it up.
Yeah, that's what I was suggesting, they
Yeah.
can go past it, they can, like you posted
Pick
at
up
the
all
post
that
office,
stuff.
we'll post the,
That's how most of
That,
the sites
but
are, you
then
just go
also
in the
have
train
information
station, and
there.
pick it up.
Don't you think it'd be better to put it by the bathroom, because people may not even go by that little cabin thing.
You can make posting, I mean, it's the park is other, you know, if we wanna put something up there.
you can put a post over at the campsite.
One thing too, like, if there's severe weather, do you wanna put something that, I mean, what's the plan for
Safety
severe
measure.
weather?
I think we need to look at, like putting a pamphlet together. That will have all that can be listed on the website and then available maybe at the information center. Also that they can pick up.
Cause the camp spot rules, I got those today, but I mean, they are very limited, so all this needs added into that I think they need to know, especially over here with having no service and 20 minutes from anybody coming out to help. If we have something severe that they know
What's
where
this?
they need to go.
We are
What's this
secluded
tower out there
and there's
gonna be?
everything.
I think it's telephone tower,
What is
isn't
it?
Verizon tower.
Verizon down.
So Verizon should be good around here.
I
Right.
don't have a problem with it. Never have had one.
We got a bomb shelter or a tornado shelter over here in Melanie French's.
Yeah.
Melanie French's yard, it's built for a hurricane or for a tornado.
We're posting up at the camp retreat that this would be a place for.
Oh, like emergency.
bad weather.
Yeah, good, good.
Uh,
So could we have a meeting to put that together, or do we have to have 2 days' notice and all that other
Maybe
stuff?
it's part committee that would come up with that, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Part
then,
committee.
And then it has to be approved by the board.
yeah,
And if we can do that when we approve the ordinance
yes.
before the 5th or whatever they do it.
Question on that. Isaac and his wife are planning on staying online. We've had people say, oh, I do campers up there during the festival, the Chautauqua.
Right.
But that'll be on the grounds,
He
right?
probably wouldn't be in the campsite.
Right,
He would be over like that one big
where the
camper
flea
there.
market is.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
and I
That's a
don't,
special event.
and he's got the insurance for all that.
That's, I think that,
He's already turned in your insurance.
I think you'd be fine.
Is there any other public question about anything parks? Question, comment?
Yeah,
I'm just wondering what the benefit is for the people who live in town to have cameras on the lot. What is the benefit?
Well, if you
It's
don't
a
camp,
beautiful place to come.
For people who live here already, what is the benefit?
probably no benefit unless you're gonna go up there and camp.
It makes money for the
It
town.
makes
brings
money for
people
the
in.
town. That's why we're doing this, we can make money, so we can improve this place.
It brings people to town, it makes money for the town, it brings people to the restaurant, it brings people to get acquainted with Miriam Camp and Retreat and maybe to rent that place. I mean, we have a lot to offer here, but a lot of people don't know about it.
you gotta have capacity to build it, and you've got to figure ways to do it. And camping is one of the ways to build capacity building. It's just like over Sullivan Park and Lake. That place is full. They brought a lot of people in.
What is capacity building?
That bringing people in
To your community.
to your community.
And there'll be more people on the block, there'll be temporary, and
But it's money coming
And
in.
money coming in, and they may come back here. They come
Well,
back again.
what you gotta do, don't you think, is recoup your loss? I think you're in a loss, I think. You haven't made any money.
That's what we're trying to do now.
Yeah, so you need to have people for that.
That's
Well,
right.
I don't know how that benefits people who live here.
Well, you
Bring
have
in
a
money.
beautiful townhouse to come and rent if you want, or go to the park and have a picnic, take your grandkids. I take my kids up there, we use the park all the time.
I live here, I don't
But
have.
that has
to
nothing
rent
to do with the
it. What?
campsites.
I
That
don't
has
have
nothing to
rent
do with
it.
the
I can
campsites.
just go up there.
Yeah, we're not saying you have to rent.
No, but if people are going to be renting it, it's a little more crowded for someone idiot like myself. As I drive through, I sit there a lot. If there are more people in there, I feel a little more. It's not as quiet and as peaceful for me, and I live here.
So let me ask you this, so if the community grows and all these empty lots that are here in town sell and people build houses, are we gonna be disappointed that people came into
That
our
would be
town
something.
team?
People who move here to live here, pay taxes here, that would be a good thing.
They're having to pay taxes on this, on
They
this
have, we
campsite.
pay taxes on the campsite.
Yeah.
They pay taxes on the campsite. We
Yeah.
collect a part of money from them that goes to the tax of the community.
Yeah, I'm just wanted to ask the question.
Right.
Yeah.
The benefit to the people who live here, what's the purpose? First place, you gotta recoup your loss, and you're gonna bring more people in, but the people you're bringing in are your, sort of like the tourists are.
Yeah, that's what we kinda want, a tourist spot.
You
Well,
want
who
first
wants that?
place.
I don't know, I never wanted that, you guys just did it. You didn't even have a meeting
So,
to say, we're gonna have a campsite, we didn't ask the people, you guys just did that.
so the bottom line
Well,
is,
very
we do not want
disrespectful.
people coming to our
You know?
town.
Right.
Very
That's the bottom
disrespectful.
line.
People already come here, and they already drive through the block park. They already do.
But they
And they
don't
know
spend any
about
money.
it.
They
It's
don't
a
spend any
local
money.
tourist spot.
We want to spend some money so we can use that money to improve our town. And that's the bottom line.
You gotta improve the people that live here. Look around. How many of our people are in jail right now?
Well, we can't.
Take a lot of that.
Drugs, yeah, you can.
What we're gonna do?
Okay, have a great day.
It stopped it when it started.
Oh, my
You
God,
didn't live
motion
here
to
then,
adjourn
July.
this meeting.
And
motion
one
to
more
adjourn.
thing,
Yes, Mike?
when are you gonna remove the chain or cable, the damage that's going on with the trees?
And the blue tar swinging
It's a
around.
really good walnut tree, and
We may
there's
end
a
up-
sycamore tree, that needs to be all removed.
We may end up putting another, more sturdy tarp up there to block the lights that are glaring on.
Now, don't be putting up a spike fence, okay? That's against the law. Okay, that's a spike fence.
I make nobody.
Anything
I
else?
second
Hey,
No, we can't be doing
I
that.
second that.
all in favor? Meeting's over.
You really shouldn't be glaring lights on campus.
I live.
Look at the new
I
lights,
live
don't put in the
Turn
car.
lights around for security.
I
Hey.
mean, strangers coming to my house.
Keep your ass from coming over the fence.
Hey, that's,
No, it's not, it's never enough. They don't care, they don't care about the car.
Good.
Good.
Brittany, I signed that paper and put on your desk. Oh, yeah, we met one of your buddies. We were at that.
It's so funny that you
Yeah,
got
he's
that.
like, Mayor? You been from Mayor?
He can imitate me like crazy. And he used to be kind of stand up.
we got an executive session.
He didn't make a lot of money on me, he would go do it. He is so funny.
Boy,
Anyway,
executive session.
I ran into him 2 or 3 times lately.
Board has executive session.
You got ran into it, gosh, it's fine. And I wish I would have daggone been there. I would love to heard that concert. I heard it was. On it. Well, I finally figured out what you're driving now. You got that black vehicle. It's dark green. Anyway, me and Jack were sitting on the porch a couple days ago, and man, that car. That's that terrible.
Well, they told us what
They did. Hey, did you get any money back for your house? Okay. You got any roof on your garage right now?
Yeah.
That's what I'm fixing.
Well, it's kind of a doozy.
On,
I'm gonna turn this light on.
my barn.
He needs to move that sign, because it's almost right on the road. On the inside of the sidewalk, that is correct.
I
don't know how to stop these live. This is so live. Help me.
I got you. One moment.
Need it off and saved.
Okay.
That's nice. 'cause you
Great
see where
comments,
we're
by the
at.
way.